Hello, math magicians. Today I'm going to show you how to make data useful. So first I'm going to show you where you can find your data. Then we're going to analyze the data by copying it, sorting it, hiding some columns so that we can see the data right next to each other. We're going to make some conclusions, some basic, proficient, and advanced conclusions, and lastly show you the difference between correlation and causation. So come on over to your survey. And if you notice at the top, it says responses. I have 17 responses back. You are going to want 25 or more. Now, Google actually generates some nice little charts already, and that is a basic level, a very basic level here. So, for example, if we just take a gander at the question about what we plan to do, if I were to copy that, I could actually bring that over into my my Google Doc, and I can make a basic statement like this. In my survey, 82% of responders said that they are going to college. This is a very basic understanding. There's no comparison of subgroups. There's no looking at how one group answered compared to another one. So let's show you how to take this a little bit deeper, looking at subgroups. So first off, scroll up to the top and you can see this icon to view responses in sheets. Now when you click on it, it's going to ask if you want to create a new sheet, and your answer is probably yes. But since I've already created one, I don't need to do that. So here it brings up the data sheet. Now the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to copy the data so that we preserve the original data so nothing gets messed up. So just down here at the bottom, if you right click, you can just duplicate and it'll create a separate sheet called copy, and notice now I'm working in that. So any changes I make to this sheet will not affect the first one. Okay, so why would I want that? Well, actually, let me show you up here. You've got some, I have some hidden, I don't know if you will. So I'm just going to unhide those so I can see all my data right here. There's a lot of data, so I'm going to show you how to clean it up and to compare things. So let's say, for example, remember that question that we asked here that said, what color is this dress? Down here. There it is. And we have a black and blue option, a white and gold. I'm really interested to see how people responded. Okay, so let's take a gander at that. So notice that my question is way over here to the side, and at the top it says that. What color is the dress? There it is, an L. Sorry about that, my computer's having issues. Okay, what color is this dress? So I've got a whole bunch of different options there. But I want to compare, see how male-female relate. So what I want to do is hide all the columns between the two. So if I select K right there, and I scroll all the way over to see where the male-female question is, I'm going to hold down the Shift key and I'm going to select D. So notice it selects all those from D to whatever that was, L or K. And now if you right-click, I have the option to hide the columns. So I hide them, and I see right here next to each other are the data that I want to analyze. So I want to compare to see if males and females answer this question differently, because maybe in my mind I think that that probably is a reasonable conclusion. So if I right click on any of the top there, or you can just click on that triangle, I'm going to sort the data alphabetically. And so notice the female on the top, males in the middle, prefer not to answer on the bottom. Okay, if I want to only consider the female response here, I can just click and drag the data, and notice I only want to drag the data that includes the female. So here's how female respond. Now let's see a chart, because visualization is very powerful. So click on the Insert Chart right here icon, or you can go into Insert and Chart there. Now it may take a moment to load, so until it loads, I will, there it is. I almost had to sing you a song. First off, what color is this dress? But that's not really what we're asking. We want to see what the women think, what the females think. So if you click on the title there, let's go to look at this and say female response. What color is this dress? Female. Female. Okay. Or another way of saying it, I could say how females viewed the dress. Now look, half of them said that it was a black and blue dress. And 38% said it was white and gold. Other said it was 12% or almost 13%. So I'm going to move that out of the way and see if I can see something else interesting. All right, so let's go back here and check the males response. So I'm going to select that data here. Notice it corresponds with the males there. And I'm going to insert a chart. Whoa! Notice this massive difference. First off, I'm going to change the title to count of what color is this dress. Mostly what color is this dress, the male response. Okay? And another thing I want to point out to you is that the colors don't correspond necessarily. They might, but they don't in this case. So I'm going to drag this down so you can see here. Notice that over here the white and gold is a blue, but the black and blue is the blue here. So how do we change that? Well, if you go into the edit here, the chart, on the right here is going to pop up some options, and notice I can customize right there towards the top. Here, when you select the actual pie color, it's going to open up over here. So notice the black and blue, I want to get it corresponding over here. I want it to be the same as that one for no particular reason. So I'm going to select that as the red, the reddish color. So I'm just going to select the reddish, and the white and gold I'm going to make blue. So now I'll select this one and the blue here. Okay, good. So now things correspond. So this blue matches with that blue. Now, the women aren't overwhelmingly one or the other. They're half this and spattered over there. But over here, the men, almost all of them, like almost all of the males, 86% see it as that. So that's a great conclusion that we can make. And both of these are very helpful charts to show it. Okay? So, how can I make a statement about this? So, let's see a statement that I can say. Although about 50% of females, and I don't need to capitalize that, females see a black, and let me just double check, is that black and blue? Yeah, black and blue. See a black and blue dress, nearly 87% of males see it that way. Okay, now how do I copy over that information? So notice here, if I come back to this chart right here, I can just right click on it or click here, and I can see an option to copy the chart. Same thing over. Now I'm going to bring it over to here so that I'm providing evidence. Now the question is, do we want to link the sheet or not? The short answer is paste it unlinked. The reason why is as we sort, things are going to change. So unlink it. So, and I'm going to shrink this down, and now I can also do the same thing, but for the male response here. So I can right click there, triple click right there, triple dot, click on the triple dot, copy the chart, and come back over, and I can paste it unlinked. Okay, I'm going to shrink it down because I don't need the large view of things. Great. And now here's my conclusion, and here's my data that backs it up here. So although 50% of females see a black and blue dress, nearly 87% of males see it that way. So a very interesting way of comparing males and females, or any other subgroups. So we can also come on over to here and try to see other types of subgroups, right? We can talk about swimming pools, right, versus males and females. Or we can think about, well, what time do people wake up, right? Or any other question we can ask ourselves. Let's see here. What do the black and blue dressers, for the dress, what do they think about, what was that last question over here? Swimming pools, right? There's no real idea. I have no real idea about that. So let me go ahead and sort this right here. Sort this for the black and blue. And I'm going to hide all this data until I get to the swimming pool question. And just so that I can see, hide, there it is. Okay, now I'm going to select, okay, so here's the black and blue, folks. And is there any relationship between black and blue and what of swimming pool? What type of swimming pool, right? And when I look up here, okay, well, most of them like ocean, right? Most of them like ocean, but that might not be too helpful. So let me delete that. And let's see, actually, if I do the same question, but this time consider the female and male response. That might be interesting to see. Okay, so what about males, females, what they view on the swimming pool question? Okay, so let's take a gander here and see how the females responded. And notice here is a 71% of females prefer swimming pools. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm just going to pull that over to the side for now. Okay, and now let's look at the males and see how males differ, or if they differ at all. All right, so click on that. Oh my word, look at that. That's exactly opposite. It's exactly opposite for this data here. Look, over here, now the colors don't correspond, so I'm going to want to change that, right? So let me go here and change the ocean to red and the pool to blue. Okay, so look at this. Exactly inverse. Now, you won't always see that with your data, but that is extremely interesting. Now, that does not mean, which brings me to our last point right here, that does not mean that being male means that you will like oceans better, okay? We are seeing what's called a correlation, just that two things correspond. Well, males tend to like oceans more than females, in fact, inversely. That doesn't mean necessarily that if you are a male, then that causes that. We don't know that necessarily. It could be, but we don't know. All right, so that is a very interesting thing, and I might want to make that data conclusion as well, that they're exactly inverses of each other. So, all right, I hope this helps. And what you're going to start doing is typing up either a quick document that analyzes the data and has these inserted, unlinked, don't forget, or you could enter that into a presentation, like slideshow instead, with the same ideas here and just one slide after another. So look at my PDF there to give further instructions. Hope this helps and have a great day.